It's a pleasure to be here. So forgiveness, why do I even talk about forgiveness? One, a few years ago, I was hurt, I was pissed. Is it okay if I use that word? I had been deeply wounded by someone I love with my whole heart. And it wasn't the first time. And so in the midst of my hurt and my anger and my righteous indignation, Spirit said to me, love like you've never been hurt. And my first response was, hell no. Is it okay if I say that?
Yes.
I said, but I've been hurt. I am justified in feeling what I'm feeling and not having any inclination toward forgiveness at all. Because after all, this has happened again and again and again. And then I was silent. I thought about this one truth for my life, and that is every time I have been directed by Spirit to do something, especially the things I really don't want to do, the blessings that have come to my life have been amazing. And so I listened to my own history with those kinds of directions from Spirit, and I said, well, God, maybe you know a little more about this than I do. So, but if you want me to love like I've never been hurt, then I need you to teach me how to do that. And so as I was developing my own thinking about it, I was prompted to write a book. I began talking with people about the principles of loving like you've never been hurt. And as I was leading a workshop on relationships in a nail salon, 25 women, not while they were doing the nails, but after hours. One person at the very end asked me the question, so how do you forgive? She said, I get that there are benefits to it, but how do you actually do that? And so then I went back to Spirit for some guidance. I said, oh, this is an excellent question, and I feel like it's one of those life-changing kinds of questions. Changing for this woman, for me, for all of those who are gathered, and I needed, while I was standing there, to really listen, because I said, I hadn't thought about that part. I'd only thought in terms of the benefits of it. And so over the next few weeks and really past couple of years, as I've been in gatherings with different folks, I have been continuing to listen about the benefits of forgiveness and the how-tos of it. And so today I want to talk with you about healing, using forgiveness as a resource for healing. But as I do so, while that is one of the specific benefits of it, I'm going to interweave with that some of the why it's helpful, even broader than that, and some of the how-tos that I have been discovering over the way. So I'm going to talk probably until about 11:15-ish, and then we will just have conversation. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. And then we'll have conversation even between now and 11:15. So I want to start with something that I wrote in the book. In response to the saying, time heals all wounds, Rose Kennedy, are you old enough to remember who she is? The mother of our president, Jack Kennedy. Rose Kennedy says, I do not agree. the wounds remain. In time, the mind, protecting its sanity, covers those wounds with scars, with scar tissue, and the pain lessens. But it is never gone. As I thought about that, and really asked, is that what happens for most of us? Either ourselves or our loved ones or clients that we work with? Is it simply a matter of scar tissue forming and pain lessening? And is there something else that's possible? And if there is something else possible, more than mere scar tissue, but actual healing, then how do we get there? What are some helpful steps that might really do that? I agree with Rose Kennedy. Time alone does not heal. Time alone only lessens the pain. And so I believe that there are two things that are critical to real healing of pain. One is understanding why the hurt happened in the first place. And two is using forgiveness. Because when and as we forgive and experience the layers and levels of forgiveness, it shifts how we show up in the world. And so rather than continuing to carry on the toxic smoke of other people, we are able to breathe and bring more freshness from our own spirit that then shifts the spaces that we're in. Even if, here's the beauty, even if the person who was the original offender never changes, that we're still able to shift the atmosphere in the spaces that we move. And people won't even know. They'll say, oh, I just feel good when I'm around you. Not knowing the stuff, the kind of corrective lens work that you've done and the spiritual practice and the emotional growth. They don't even know that, but they are beneficiaries of it. Forgiveness is not write a blank check. It is unconditional love with healthy boundaries. Seeing people clearly where they are, meeting people and loving people right where they are. What it offers the opportunity for is to look at, so what's going on in me? What is it that I'm holding on to keep positioning myself to ignore all of the information that this person is presenting to me about where he or she is right now? Why am I doing that? What sense of safety? Is there some kind of safety I get from that fantasy? And where'd that come from? But really helping, that's what I say, it's unconditional love with healthy boundaries. All right? Thank you.